Laughter echoes through the emergency room as Dr. Harrison Webb points at 52-year-old night shift nurse Evelyn Reeves. "You're done, Evelyn. Security will escort you out after this shift." 23 staff members watch as he delivers his verdict. While they laugh, Evelyn's fingers maintain their position on the neck of the patient she just lost, exactly on the carotid artery point that only combat medics memorize. Behind him on the monitor, small text flashes briefly. "Toxicology pending. Nerve agent suspected. Classified substance detected." But Webb clears the alert before anyone else can read it. Evelyn nods, folds her scrubs in precise military manner, and walks toward the exit. None of the 23 people realize they've witnessed the beginning of 6 hours that will change everything. Desert Springs Medical Center sits 4 miles from Nellis Air Force Base. At 3:47 a.m., Evelyn collects her belongings, her movements deliberate. Each step covers exactly 30 inches, the same stride drilled into her during different training decades ago. The patient she tried to save, Jane Doe, lies covered in Trauma Room 3. Evelyn had recognized something in those symptoms, a pattern she'd seen exactly once before in a classified file that didn't exist. Chief Hayes, a veteran working security, watches her pack. Something about her posture triggers memory, the way she scans every corner. High left, high right, low corners, center mass, exits. "Rough way to end a career," he says quietly. "Every career ends, Chief. Some just end more quietly." Lab technician Bradley Chun intercepts them near the exit. As Evelyn signs paperwork, he whispers, "The toxicology system flags something classified. It got scrubbed 30 seconds after it appeared." The parking lot stretches across 4 acres. At 4:15 a.m., Evelyn spots 3 black SUVs parked in perfect tactical formation. Their positioning is too precise for coincidence. The guards beside her remain oblivious. Hayes appears in her rearview mirror, mouths a single word: "Run." But Evelyn drives at exactly 15 miles per hour toward the exit. The lead SUV accelerates. "Evelyn Reeves," the man calls out, displaying a badge. "Agent Torres, FBI. We need you to come with us." The badge gleams gold, but Evelyn catalogs 17 details confirming her suspicion. This man is not FBI. Then she hears them. The deep rhythmic beat of twin turboshaft engines. 2 HH-60G pave Hawks break over the hospital at 200 feet, searchlights blazing. The lead helicopter descends as 3 figures in operational camouflage emerge. "Evelyn Reeves, do not get in those vehicles," the major calls out. "They're not FBI. We need you to come with us now," he continues urgently. "He's dying, and you're the only one left who can save him." "Who's dying?" "Mark Danner. 43 minutes ago, he was exposed to the same nerve agent that killed your patient tonight. You have less than 30 minutes. Mark Danner, the pilot she pulled from a burning helicopter in Syria. The man she was told died 24 hours later. You're telling me 6 of them are dead?" Evelyn asks. "Confirmed over the last 18 months. All investigated, all ruled natural or self-inflicted. All wrong. Someone's been hunting Seraphim participants. Operation Seraphim. The name she hasn't heard spoken since she signed papers swearing it never existed. Medical techniques that could save lives when conventional medicine failed, developed in combat zones." They board the helicopter. As they lift off toward the field surgical unit, the major explains, 0 to 100 hours, Mark returned from a classified flight test. Within minutes, acute respiratory distress, followed by neurological symptoms. "The patient from the hospital," Evelyn says. "Jane Doe. She wasn't random, was she? We think she was a test run. When she died at your hospital, they knew the formula was correct, and they knew you'd be there to see it." The field surgical unit appears ahead. Inside the tent lies Mark Danner, looking almost exactly as he did 10 years ago. "Everyone out," Evelyn commands. "Except you." She points to a young pararescue jumper. "You've had combat medical training?" "Yes, ma'am." She begins with observation. The pattern of perspiration, rhythm of tremors, dilation of pupils. "Hand me the vial around his neck." The The vial contains his blood from before the first exposure, the baseline she needs. This isn't just a nerve agent, she explains. It's a synthetic compound designed to evade every known treatment. The protocol has 17 steps. Each depends on the patient's response to the previous one. She works through the sequence: pharmaceutical interventions, physical manipulations of nerve clusters. At step 11, Mark's eyes open with sharp, alert awareness. He blinks twice, the old signal for understood. Through the tent walls, she hears raised voices. Colonel Lionel Sparks, very much alive despite reports of his death. Stall them, she orders. Tell them any disruption could cause complete system failure. She leans close to Mark's ear and whispers coordinates from his tattoo: 36.2369 north, 115.28 west. I know what's there. As she completes step 17, Colonel Sparks enters with 4 men in tactical gear. Sergeant Reeves, I heard you've been working as a civilian nurse. How the mighty have fallen. Colonel Sparks, I heard you died in a car accident. Death can be useful when you need freedom to operate. He produces orders showing operational control has been transferred to Task Force Prometheus, his task force. Why kill the others? Mark asks. They died because they couldn't let go. Each was offered the same choice: join Prometheus or face consequences. They chose poorly. You want to restart Seraphim, Evelyn states. Not restart, evolve. Imagine what we could achieve with proper resources, proper test subjects. Then she hears approaching helicopters. A woman emerges from the lead aircraft, General Patricia Morrison. Colonel Sparks, you've been difficult to find for someone who's supposed to be dead. Sergeant Reeves, Lieutenant Danner, on behalf of the United States government, I apologize. You were used as bait to draw out a rogue element. Jane Doe was one of ours, Morrison confirms. A volunteer who knew the risks. You let them die to build a case. Mark protests. We let them die to prevent hundreds more. Sparks wasn't just recruiting, he was selling the protocols to the highest bidder. 3 foreign governments have attempted bastardized versions that killed dozens. Sparks laughs harshly. You have no idea what you stumbled into. Seraphim was never just about medical protocols. Tell them, Evelyn. Tell them about Patient Zero. Patient Zero, the unnamed Syrian fighter who survived nerve agent exposure through natural immunity. The discovery she never reported. Where is Patient Zero now? Morrison demands. Dead, Evelyn says. Killed in an airstrike. That's what you believed, Sparks smiles. But someone matching their description was seen in Turkey, then Jordan, then Nevada. Jane Doe, Mark realizes. She had the same unusual resistance pattern. Dr. Webb arrives unexpectedly. 3 more patients have arrived at the hospital. Same symptoms, same resistance pattern. They're asking for you by name. Webb shows a photo, tattoos reading State Route 1, State Route 3, State Route 5. Seraphim subjects, supposedly dead for a decade. Multiple vehicles approach. A figure exits, Patient Zero walking directly toward them. I'm here for Evelyn Reeves. Morrison allows the approach. The figure identifies himself. My name is Samir al-Rashid. You saved my life 13 years ago. I remember. The organization hunting Seraphim survivors isn't trying to weaponize your protocols. They want the genetic key that makes certain people naturally resistant. The 3 patients at the hospital are my children, genetic descendants created through processes you'd find horrifying. They're the organization's failures. And you want me to what? Destroy it completely. Every sample, every record. The human body wasn't meant to be engineered against weapons. Mark approaches. You want mutual assured destruction. I want to combine them, then destroy the combination. Morrison's voice booms over loudspeakers. We have aircraft approaching. ETA, 15 minutes. The organization, Samir says calmly. They're coming to recover their property. Then we make a stand here, Evelyn decides. With all players visible and all cards on the table. She calls in Samir's people. 43 survivors, all bearing signs of biological trauma. They pull out phones recording everything. Corporate jets land. A woman in her 60s approaches. I'm Director Catherine Vance, Prometheus Pharmaceutical. I believe you have several of our assets. Colonel Sparks was merely a contractor, she continues. His methods were unauthorized. His murders were unauthorized. Morrison counters. The deaths were necessary to protect information worth more than individual lives. We're prepared to offer a deal. Full amnesty, compensation, continued funding. In return, we want the complete Protocol 17 Romeo and cooperation of Sergeant Reeves. No, Evelyn says, stepping forward. But I'll give you what you want. She looks at Vance. 1 hour to document everything properly. Inside the tent, she tells Mark and Samir, I'm giving them exactly what they deserve. A version that works perfectly in demonstrations, then fails catastrophically when deployed at scale. That's murder, Mark says. It's justice. By the time they realize the protocol is flawed, their credibility will be destroyed. She works quickly, combining real procedures with subtle falsifications. A masterpiece of deception, technically accurate and absolutely lethal if followed precisely. There's something else, she tells Mark. Your recovery isn't just Protocol 17 Romeo. You're changing, improving. It's reversible, but only if we act now. Then reverse it. Samir steps outside, and 43 voices raise in protest. Their phones stream live to social media worldwide. Media helicopters arrive. Someone leaked our location to the press. A new voice booms. This is General Patterson, Joint Chiefs. This facility is now under direct Pentagon control. Patterson emerges. Sergeant Reeves, you've caused quite a stir. Just trying to save a life, sir. Save it or change it. He looks at Mark. We've been monitoring the medical telemetry. It was correction of an error, Evelyn admits. The Joint Chiefs agree, which is why we're here to ensure all materials are secured and destroyed. Evelyn hands the false protocol to Vance. Everything you wanted. Vance snatches it eagerly. When we perfect this, you'll beg to be part of it. I'll be too busy living a normal life. Patterson addresses everyone. Protocol 17 Romeo will be officially declared a failed experiment. Unofficially, Morrison asks. 3 copies maintained in maximum security, available only with presidential authorization. Not enough, Evelyn protests. Encoded in living memory. 3 people, each carrying part. Only when all 3 agree can it be reconstructed. Agreed, Patterson nods. Dr. Webb approaches. The hospital board wants to offer you reinstatement. I want nothing. That life is over. Morrison hands her paperwork. Full reinstatement, backdated 10 years. Honorable discharge as of today. Mark finds Evelyn watching the sunset. What now? Now we disappear separately. No contact for at least a year. Samir joins them. Perhaps the lesson is that some knowledge is too powerful for any one person to control. Or perhaps humans always corrupt healing into harming, Mark suggests. Rodriguez approaches. I want to forget everything. Smart choice, Evelyn approves. Morrison signals separate helicopters. Separate destinations, separate lives. Evelyn boards without looking back. As it lifts off, she sees Mark and Samir boarding theirs. 3 people who changed history, now scattered. Where to, ma'am? The pilot asks. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere nobody looks twice at another nurse. As the helicopter flies into darkness, Evelyn closes her eyes. She's saved Mark, prevented catastrophe, destroyed dangerous knowledge. Tomorrow she'll be someone else. Below, the desert swallows all evidence. By dawn, it will be as if none of this happened. Vance will discover the trap too late. Prometheus will achieve initial success, then watch test subjects develop aggressive cancers. The scandal will destroy them. Sparks will die in custody, officially suicide, actually assassination. Morrison will oversee division of the true protocol, ensuring it survives but can never be consolidated. Rodriguez will wake with gaps in memory, becoming a teacher without knowing why he feels strongly about ethical treatment. Samir and his survivors will receive treatment that helps but doesn't cure, forming a support network while watching for Prometheus's resurrection. Mark will disappear into witness protection so deep even he doesn't know his destination. And Evelyn will become someone else, a small-town nurse where nobody asks about the past. She'll save lives in small, ordinary, safe ways. The helicopter carries her toward a future stripped of everything except simple healing. It's enough. As stars appear, she whispers her new mantra, "First, do no harm." Even if that means doing nothing. Even if that means letting knowledge die. The helicopter disappears into darkness, taking the last keeper of secrets too dangerous to share. Behind it, the desert returns to silence. In Las Vegas, 3 patients with strange symptoms recover naturally and leave without explanation. In a military facility that doesn't officially exist, classified files are created, encoded, and scattered. In boardrooms across the globe, executives discover they've purchased their own destruction. And somewhere in America, a middle-aged nurse starts her first shift at a rural clinic. Her past erased, her future uncertain, her knowledge buried so deep even she will eventually forget. The war for Protocol 17 Romeo is over. Everyone lost, which means everyone won.